Thank you, all of you, for being here. I know there's other stuff that you can do in the middle of the day on your Tuesday, especially on a relatively short notice. We invited you guys yesterday. You're all here because you were interested in the AI business transformation course and you weren't sure whether you want to do it, you don't want to do it. And what I really wanted to do is several different things. One is to give you value and show you some stuff that is not day-to-day obvious stuff that people do with AI. So that's number one. And I picked a few different use cases from different fields that I teach in the course and that I also do with my clients that I think will be interesting for everyone. The other thing is to explain why the urgency, right? It's not about me, it's not about the payment for the course. It's really not about that. I see incredible transformation that is happening across industries, across continents, across sizes of companies. I do this with hundreds of businesses. I teach this course for 2 years now, and I work with multiple businesses in multiple hats. And the impact that this has on people's personal trajectories, as well as it has on successes of departments and companies, is profound. And I really want to help. Like, I really want to see people successful. That has been the biggest joy of my life since I was an instructor in the Air Force Academy 30 years ago, is literally being people succeeding in the stuff that you're trying to do and me being able to help them. So that's why we're here. We're here because I want you to understand that this is transformative and it can really dramatically impact what you're doing. And to give you examples about what I mean, I will start with actual examples. So example number one is learning how to do automations that currently takes a lot of time and effort in organizations and understanding how to do them with AI. So in this particular example, this is from an actual client of mine, something that they've learned to do in the course and then perfected in their company, is they get inventory data from multiple different sources in multiple different formats. They're all coming in Excel. And based on that information, they need to create a brief to their salespeople on what is still available to sell and what is not available to sell and what should be pushed more aggressively and what not. Now, while this is a very specific example, similar processes happen in every single company on the planet where you have data that is siloed in multiple different formats in multiple different places. And yet you need to make business decisions, in this particular case, critical business decisions, which is what you're going to sell to your clients on either daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And it's an ongoing process that just requires a lot of tedious work. And what we did is we built an AI automation that knows how to take all that information and create the output format that they created manually before. So what I want to show you in 2 seconds is what it is doing right now. So what it is doing right now is you need to go here and you go here, I believe. We'll see in a minute. Yeah, sales guidelines. So these are the two source files that they're using. And you just upload them and you hit go. And everything else, it's going to do on its own. So what you're going to see now, it's going to analyze the data and it's going to run through the files and it's going to go step by step, all the different steps that this flow chart shows it to do. Now, the
Cesar,
cool thing, yes.
sorry, are you sharing screen?
Oh, I thought I was.
You not yet. Okay.
Okay. Am I now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, perfect. So two files go in, it goes through a whole process, it creates this output, and the output, so I'll do it again. All I have to do is I go here, I grab the two files, I hit go, and it is going to run through the process. So all I have to do is hit go. I don't type anything, and it's going to run through the entire thing. You're going to see it analyzing. You're going to see it running through different steps, basically the steps that we taught it how to do. Now, the cool thing about it, beyond the fact that it knows how to do it on its own, is the fact that mapping the process on exactly what they did manually, we did with AI. Creating the definition, the step-by-step checklist, we did with AI. Creating the flow chart, we did with AI. Building the instructions for the automation, we did with AI. And then obviously running the automation, AI is doing. This process that now is going to take this thing 4 to 5 minutes, not even 2 to 3 minutes to run, used to take them between 30 minutes to an hour and a half every single day. depending on the variance between the files that they got every single day. So by implementing this thing, and that's it, we're done. Now we have the output, and I have it as a CSV that I can download, and they can use it to brief their salespeople. This process that took me nothing, uploading the files and clicking go, saves them an average of an hour a day every day. So this is just one example of many other things that they've implemented in this particular case. Another use case that I want to show you is personalizing content. And in this particular case, what we're going to personalize is a cover letter for a proposal. So what you're going to input is you're going to input the proposal, and you're going to give it access to the client's website. It's going to explore the website on its own, learn as much as it can on the website, and provide a personalized cover letter to that particular client, which is very cool. So again, generalizing this, you can build generalized, personalized content machines from otherwise generalized content. This could be for messages on LinkedIn. This could be outreach via email. This could be anything that you want to personalize, you can do with AI. So let's look at this particular example. All I have to do here is go here and go to my proposal, which this would be pre-course webinar. And I've got my PDF proposal, which is a banking financial proposal in this particular case. And I'm going to hit go. Again, I don't give it any instructions. And it's going to say, okay, thank you. Now just please give me the link to the website. And I picked one of you, actually, one of the first people who signed up for this webinar. So the name of the company is Epic Services Company. And that's all I do. I literally give it a link to the website. Rosalie, I hope you don't mad that I picked you as an example, but your website is awesome and it aligns with this. So it did research. It kind of tells me what it is. It shows me which sources it used to collect that information. And it is going to write, please write the cover letter. And that's going to write the personalized cover letter in a way that I can edit it as well. So what you'll see is now it's going to be, who's the person, treasurer, city goal, blah, 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 blah. And now it says, okay, dear whoever, at Truist, we believe banking should be more than just transactions. It should be trusted relationship between businesses, and it's going to connect it with the information that it found on the website. You can use a similar, now the way it was built is by creating a custom GPT. That is one of the things we teach in the course, that has a lot of information about our company, the one that is writing the proposal. And this is how it knows how to take concepts and ideas and beliefs and core values and connect it to what it finds about the client. Another use case that I want to show you is design. And these tools are getting much, much better in design, to the point they can now either replace or dramatically improve the entire design process. So Gerber, the baby company, are one of my clients, and this is something that we're doing together with them. You can now create mood boards by defining to it what is the season and what you're trying to achieve and the general concepts you want to create. It will create multiple mood boards for you. You pick the mood board that you like the most, and you generate the different images or the different graphics that you want to use later on. You tell it what type of format you want it at. In this particular case, the onesies is the only thing I uploaded to it, is to show it the onesies. And I asked it to create one of these samples in the right color scheme on the onesie that I uploaded. It did this. And then I asked it to show it on an actual baby smiling in a crib, and it created the baby. This process used to take 2 to 3 weeks to do, just to get ideas on what should be the next season's graphics and color scheme and so on. And now they can do it in half an hour instead of a few weeks with significantly less effort. So these are just examples across different aspects of the business. One is more data analytics, backend, and so on. The second one comes from marketing and customer relationship, anything you need to personalize. And the third from design and or marketing, depending what you're trying to do. And there's similar use cases in literally every aspect of the business. Now, the reason that you are here tells me that you're at least considering joining the course, but you have reasons why you don't want to join right now. The main one that obviously I'm sure is in some people's heads is I don't have the time, right? This is like I'm busy right now. I have too much on my plate. I can't add learning AI to that right now. And the reality is you will save very quickly a lot more time than the time you're going to spend on the course. The only difference is the course, you spend the time once, and the time saving is going to come every day or every week or every month, depending on the specific use cases that you implement. I just showed you a use case a few minutes ago that saves one of the people who took the course an hour on average every day. That's within 2 weeks, they got the time back and now they're making money, and they've implemented it across multiple other use cases in the company. So the savings is significantly better. So saying I don't have time to save time obviously doesn't make any sense. Make the time right now and you have a lot more time to implement other stuff in your business because AI will help you eliminate some of the tasks that you're doing today. Either eliminate or just do them more efficiently. The second thing is people saying, well, it's not that cheap and I not necessarily have the budget, or the budget is not allocated to this, or whatever the case may be. And the reality is the same kind of story, right? There's two aspects to this. Aspect number one, even with the examples I just showed you, you will save more money than the course costs you probably every single week in your business if you learn how to apply AI effectively. Meaning, not doing the course is actually costing you significantly more money than doing the course, only it happens every week or every month, depending on how effective you're going to do with implementing AI. So saying you don't have the budget, again, also doesn't make any sense because you're actually paying a lot more money not to do the course. The other thing is AI drives more revenue. You will gain immediate ROI, either by saving money to the bottom line because you will be able to do stuff faster, like I just showed you, or even if you just use this one example of personalized approach to people, will drive higher conversion, which will drive more revenue. But you can find new prospects using AI. You can filter prospects using AI. You can do outreach on a much higher scale using AI. You can write better proposals using AI. You can do better customer service using AI. All these things drive higher revenue, not just savings that support the bottom line. Not technical. How many of you feel that you're not technical enough to actually dive into AI head on? Many people feel that, wow, this is really scary. There's all these prompts and all these tools, and I don't know, I barely know how to write emails. And the reality is that hundreds of our graduates are not technical. Two of them are actually sitting with us here. I'll let you in on a little secret. Not technical people. They're business leaders running businesses, and they don't know how to write code, and they don't know how AI works, or they didn't know how AI works. And they were able to now do things with AI that is changing everything that they know about their businesses. And you'll be able to do that as well. And then the last thing, as I mentioned before, is saying, well, I will join sometime in the future. And the problem with that is two things. Problem number one, as I mentioned, is our next course will most likely be in August, maybe September. And you can keep on procrastinating that on and on until you look like this guy. Oh my God, what happened to my business because I didn't do this in time? But the other thing that you need to remember that will lead to that outcome is your competition is probably not going to wait. And so the sooner you do this, in addition to gaining the benefits that we talked about and example that we've shown, you may start losing market share to your competitors if they do this and you don't. And I'm not trying to scare you. This is the reality of what's happening. In addition to me, there are other people teaching courses. There are people learning on their own. There are people experimenting across departments, and people are moving forward. And the dramatic changes that it makes means your cost structure becomes very, very different once you do that. If your cost structure is different, you can give your clients a 15% discount and still make more money than your competitors. And if your competitors do this to you, well, guess what? You'll find yourself in a very bad situation. So with all this in mind, I want to touch on one more thing, which is you don't have to just believe me, right? There are, again, hundreds of people, maybe thousands. I didn't actually count how many people took the course, but it's been 2 years, at least once a month, between 15 and 25 people every time. That's a lot of people. And so we haven't had a single person who left this course not having a dramatic change through everything that they're doing, both personal life and business life. And you can read this. You can obviously go on my LinkedIn and see how many people who took the course or work with me think about the way I teach and the transformation that they have. But we have Stan and Danielle here. Both of them took the course a while back. To be fair, I don't remember exactly when. I apologize for that, but probably around mid last year ish. And what I want to do two things. I'm going to ask them a few questions, but then I'm going to open it to Q&A for all of you to ask either me or them any question that they want. I'm not paying Stan and Danielle. They're not related to me. We're not affiliated. I literally asked them for a favor, said, hey, listen, there's a few people who are considering taking the course. Will you come and help them make the right decision? And I asked two people, and two people said yes. And so I thought I thought I have redundancy because I assumed one of them will probably going to be busy, but I really appreciate both of you being here. So I'm going to start with a question, the same question to both of you, which I think is the most important question that everybody else is asking. What is the biggest before and after that you see in your business from the course perspective? What are the things that you were able to change in your business because you took the course? And we'll start with the lady, and then Stan will go to you.
So the biggest difference, well, just the amount of work that I can get done. Just being one person, I'm the only person really in my company. I worked many years in companies, and then last year, just after I took this course, I made a switch to go out on my own, providing consulting services. It was just coincidental. But in the beginning, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to build my clientele. And then very quickly after my clientele started building, because I had the tools of AI, I was actually able to handle the workload. Whereas before I had the tools of AI, there would be no way, I just didn't know. I didn't know what I could do with it. I didn't know how much time it could save me. So, it's like I have an assistant essentially with AI to proofread for me, to look at, I'm in finance, so to look at spreadsheets, I can ask it questions and it can give me answers, and a lot of admin stuff, email drafting, just all the stuff that I don't really have time for. But even some of the really high level stuff that I want to give it, it still helps. And, there's no one tool. I guess ChatGPT is the one that I use often, but there's no one that I would say that I could use. It's all of the ones that you've shown us are just so valuable. And it's like I have two people working for me,
Amazing.
me
Thank you.
and myself. Yeah.
Stan?
Yep. And for me, I'm part of a small team. We do training, and a lot of what I do revolves around content creation, research. And I am someone who is totally non-visual, but I've been able to use AI to help actually create some images that would have been the furthest thing from my mind before starting to do this. So with me, it's speed and it's a comfort level with artificial intelligence, which is something that I didn't have before. Even though I do LinkedIn training, I wasn't totally comfortable with AI and what could be done with it. So this course helped tremendously with that.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll ask one more quick question, which I'm sure everybody's asking themselves right now if they're on this call. Is it worth it? Should they do it or not based on your experience? And I'll start with you, Stan, and then we'll go to Danielle.
The short answer is absolutely. It's an investment in yourself. And these days, there is no better investment than investing in yourself. And particularly with AI. It sounds sometimes like it is overhyped. And when people expect results right away, that may be true. But 6 to 12 months from now, the world is going to be very different from how it is today. And we can see it coming. So this investment, without question, has been worth it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Danielle?
Absolutely. I tell my friends who I think would be capable about your courses all the time. And it's Keithar said, you might think that, oh, can I really dedicate one whole day or this big chunk of day per week? But one of the things that I feel like it helps is because you introduce it in such a way that is practical and makes sense, it takes away some of that fear of being like, oh no, like either I'm not technical or I'm not this or that, or there's just too many things, there's too many tools. You really distill it down into the ones that are practical and can be useful and are not the ones that, you're going to lose your mind just trying to figure out. And that's one of the huge benefits, I think, of the course too, is because a lot of us are just afraid or we don't know where to start, but that's what this course is. This course is tools and a path for you to learn where to start and what's going to work for you in your business application.
Awesome. Thank you so much, both of you. Before I open it to Q&A, one last thing. I gave you the promise when you signed up for this webinar. So we never do this. Like we do $50 off every now and then. We do $100 off every now and then. We never do more than that. And it's really just for now, for you guys coming here and participating in this particular webinar. So the promo code is AI Now. If you sign up between now and the top of the hour, then you can get $150 off from the course. If not, you're obviously still welcome to sign up. I would really appreciate if you do. Joyce is going to give you the link in the chat on how to complete your registration process without having to re-register, because you already started. Like the reason you're here is because you have your emails, is because you started the registration process. And so all I'm asking you is click on the link in the chat if you're interested, or at least copy that so you have it next to you when you want to complete the registration process. And then you can just, the only thing that I request is the same email we used to invite you here is the same email you signed up for the course. Use the same email in the checkout so we know it's you, and you're going to stop getting the emails like, oh, you didn't pay it. And so that's my only request. And now we're open to Q&A. I already have a question from Neil. Is what I saw in the demo representative of the business leader course today? The demo feels more fit for individual work. So the course is built out of 4 sessions, and the sessions are built around giving anybody who joins the course good understanding, as Danielle said, on multiple practical use cases. Anything from prompting to data analysis to image generation to relationships of data to building automations, all the different building blocks, video creation, marketing, all the different building blocks that you have in a business. And in session 4, we focus on more the strategy and how to put it all together as a cohesive company-wide approach, and the blueprint that I'm using with my clients in order to help them implement AI company-wide. And you cannot do the last thing without understanding the first ones. Like it's just impossible to have that conversation because you just don't have enough understanding. That's why when I go to companies and they invite me to teach them, I'm like, okay, you need enough people to understand the basics to start having the strategic conversations that you need to have, because otherwise they're not going to be effective conversations. So that's why the course is built the way it's built. The course has been updated literally every single time I taught it. So I'm teaching it now. I'm teaching it again with you guys next week, and things are going to change between now and next week. A, because I'm getting feedback at the end of each course. Everybody fills up a survey, and B, because the AI things are keep on moving forward. So it gets updated. Any more questions, either write them in the chat or feel free to open your microphone and just ask. We're here, and I'll stop sharing so we can see each other better. If you have any questions, please just ask. Just open your microphone and ask. Don't be shy. I bite only on weekends. Okay, then I will say 2 more things. One is, if you're still debating and not sure, feel free to drop me a line on LinkedIn or send me an email. Now you got my email because I invited you to the meeting, and I will gladly answer if you want to do it privately. The second is, if you're not ready for the course yet, after all of this, is learning AI is critical. It's literally going to be maybe the most impactful skill we will have to learn in the next couple of years, regardless of your position and regardless of your stage in your career. And I work with CEOs of companies of hundreds of millions of dollars, and I work with solopreneurs and everything in between. And for all of them, it's very critical to understand this. So if you're not ready for the course, at least make sure you follow the podcast. And I assume most of you found me through the podcast. So I'll make the assumption that most of you know about the podcast, but I will say it anyway. The podcast is called Leveraging AI. It's been running for 2 years. And every Tuesday, there's an episode that shares exactly how people do specific use cases, specific business use cases with AI. So I try to find the best practitioners on the planet. And when I do, I bring them over and I ask them to share everything they're doing, how they're doing it, the tools they're using, the processes, the prompts, and so on. That's every Tuesday. And every Saturday, there's an update on what happened with AI that week. So it also keeps you updated on what's happening that way. I have another question. I use AI chat every day. I'm wondering if it would build on the basics and move to more advanced structure. So yes, so the course starts with the basic on the first half hour of the first session. And you will see that even in that, you're going to learn a lot on how to provide better structure and how to do some more advanced prompting in ChatGPT and other tools. I'm going to see how to evaluate other tools and compare different tools to get better outcomes. Danielle said, like, there is not one tool that does everything the best, and we keep to have switching around, but most people don't know how to do that. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to build on top of that and do more and more things, more advanced promptings, more advanced capabilities, working with multiple documents, building automations, data analysis, all the things that I mentioned earlier. So it's a lot more than prompting, but you got to start with prompting because that's the very basic and not everybody knows how to do it. And to be fair, most people who think they know how to do it at a 50% knowledge or 80% knowledge, but there's still more to learn. I hope that answers the question. Awesome. Anyone else?
Hey, sir, can I say just one thing?
Yes, please.
So to the question of whether or not it's more for individual or not, I actually took it with one of the private groups for the company that I was working with. And it was very structured on how to take it back to the team. It was, first getting one person to understand and then very strategic ways to take it back to the team and, just disseminate it between departments, the pieces that made sense for each department, which was relevant. So if that's a concern, ESAR's really got it covered.
Thank you. I love will it do the thing? Yeah, it does the thing. Yeah, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. I know this was a very short notice. We try to keep it condensed and tight so you guys can go back to your work. I really hope to see you on Monday next week, and I hope to see you signing up for the course. In addition, we have the AI Friday Hangouts. It's something that is completely free that we do every single Friday with a growing community of people like Stan and Danielle, and we just chat about AI. People bring problems, we try to solve them. We obviously solve issues that people had in the course or the homework or stuff like that as well, but anybody can join. So even if you're not joining the course, you can sign up and join us on Friday for the AI Friday Hangouts. Every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, open to the public, and we just talk about use cases and concepts and how AI will take over the world, or very tactical things and anything in between. So you can feel free to join us for that as well. Can I apply the promo code retroactively if I sign up earlier? I will figure something out. Yes. If you're here, then send me a separate email, Neil, and I'll make it work. I'll just find a way to refund you. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I really hope to see all of you. Thank you, Stan and Danielle, for doing this. I really appreciate you guys.